All right, what's up, people? You are live with Mizz Moodie on blogtalkradio.com. And I'm sorry to start off the show with some bad news. If anybody was, who follows me on Facebook and Twitter and all that good stuff, y'all know I was supposed to have Johnny go figure, but I got a text message that he's sick. So he won't be joining me today. So I'd like to
Man up, Johnny.
I'd like to give a huge shout out to Johnny Go Figure. Feel better. Hope everything turns out okay. And I got my number one person that I could depend on the line right now. I got Luck is born with me again.
Hey.
Thank you again for coming through for me.
Feeling like a regular. Now.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, this is about to be the Mizz Moodie and Luck is Born show right now. But anyway. So today's topic is how much of your personal life should you share, not just with the public, like how much should you share with your family, your friends, coworkers, social media, and how much should you keep to yourself? The reason why I picked this as a topic, again, most of my topics usually come from personal life. Like, I'm usually private, especially when it comes to my dating life. So I kind of feel like all people need to know is that if I'm dating somebody or if I'm not dating somebody, and even some cases I don't even let them know that. And, people think something is wrong with me because I keep shit to myself. So, people question my sexuality. People talking about when you're going to find somebody, and I'm like, well, little do you know. But, I just never really like having my business out there like that, but I don't know, people think that's something strange. So where does the line get drawn? Like, how much do you share? How much do you keep to yourself? What do you think about that? Well, I mean, I'm talking about dating life, but I mean with anything in general. Like, and should it change with different contexts? Like, how do you feel about that, Luck?
I'm definitely the same way. I like to be private. I don't like to put everything there, especially on the social media, but I think that's a given. I don't think it's necessary for you to put your whole life out there because, honestly, the majority of your Facebook friends don't really care. You know what I mean? It's really no need to do that. Let's keep it real. But as far as friends and family, it would be wonderful to have people that you can actually talk to about, your personal situations because, sometimes we do need an outside source, for outside perspective for our own problems, I think it is important to share, but it just depends on who you're sharing it with. You don't want to share your personal problems with someone who's toxic, who will take advantage of it, or use what they know against you. Stuff like that. That'll come back to haunt you. But you have to make sure that it's someone that you can actually share and trust. Trust to share your issues with.
Well, yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
No, I was saying keeping it all in. I don't think that's a good thing.
No, that kind of makes you feel isolated. But, yeah, I definitely agree with that. Going back to social media, the majority of your friends don't care, but then the friends that are closer to you should know already. They're not looking like people that know you in real life are not checking for you on social media and looking at what you put because they're going to call you and say, oh, what's up with this? And then the people that aren't close to you are either going to ignore it or gossip about it. And I'm like, I mean, maybe some people like being gossiped about, but not me. So it's like, I don't want everybody talking about my personal business. Like, that's some bullshit. So, yeah, as far as definitely, personally, my inner circle knows everything that goes on. Basically, the people that I really, really trust, I tell them everything. But as far as at work is concerned, again, I have to gauge people. I have to really feel them out and see if I can really trust them and see if we can build a relationship outside of work. In that case, maybe I'll tell you some things, but, I mean, a lot of people look at me sideways because, when people are having their personal conversations and I don't volunteer my own story, people think I'm hiding something. I get called sneaky and all of that, and I'm like, I'm not sneaky. It's just none of your damn business. Like, seriously. So as far as family is concerned, I don't tell all of my family everything either because, I mean, unfortunately, I don't want to sound cynical, but I mean, it's the same situation with my family. The people I live with obviously know everything, but I'm like, as far as distant family, it's, are you going to turn around and gossip about me later? Like, only the people I can really trust. But, all right, I have a caller. All right, Shamara. The topic is... What's up? Do you know the topic, or do you want me to say it?
No, you say it.
How much of your personal life, should you share with people, like, in different contexts, and how much of it should you keep to yourself?
Like, when I thought of your topic, I was really thinking of, like, the whole, obviously everybody's on Facebook, or everybody has Twitter, everybody has Instagram. And I don't know, I remember when Facebook first started, and I think, like, we're a lot younger, people didn't really care what they put up, but now it's just, like, I don't even feel comfortable, like, trying to, like, document my life like that. Like, I just feel like it's really, some things are just meant to just be enjoyed to yourself. Like, putting it on Facebook, I don't know, I just think takes away from it. Like, and it takes away from the fun of situations. Like, people used to go to parties and just be, like, chilling and hanging out or whatever, but now it's just like, oh, I need to take pictures for Facebook, and I can't wear this outfit again because it's on Facebook. And it's like, it kind of ruins a lot of, for me, like, the true enjoyment of a lot of it.
I was going to say, on top of that, when it comes to social media, with today's technology where you can take screen caps of everything, you really got to be careful about what you say before, you say something incriminating. You can't take it back once it's out there. But, yeah, go ahead, Luck. You was about to say something.
Oh, no, I was just saying I totally agree. It takes away from the enjoyment of life, like actual interaction, outside of the social networks. I feel like the future will lead us to everybody's just having virtual friendships and virtual lives, and nobody's ever going to go out the house. That's the cynical way to look at it. But I think that's the future of social networks. I think that's where we're going.
And I also think people have a... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I
was just going to say that I feel like people have a mistaken, mistaken views about intimacy now. Like, people feel like they know you because they're like, oh, yeah, I saw that picture you posted, like, when you were on your way to a funeral and stuff like that. And it's just like, like, we're not close. We're just like, oh, I feel close to you because you liked my picture, like, you commented on it. And it's like, what happened to calling people to console them, not liking pictures or, things like that.
Right. Or on the other hand, when, like, you look at pictures and think people are actually closer to each other than they actually are. Like, oh, son, I went to this party, it's so fun, and you'll see this group of a whole bunch of people looking like they're having a ball, but then once that picture snapped and they go back to the regular life, they all talking shit about each other later. It's like, the picture makes it all look cute, but in real life it's not as cute as the picture looks. So, but on the flip side, though, when it comes to dating, though, I kind of feel like if I don't get a certain amount of public attention, I feel like he's ashamed of me. So, I mean... I understand that, it's not important to have it all your business out there, but I kind of feel like you need to know that someone's in my life and you can leave it at that. But if it's to the point where, I don't get a certain amount of public attention, then I feel a type of way. So how do y'all feel about that?
So you have to have in a relationship with Mizz Moodie.
Oh, no. I don't have to have all of that. But I'm talking about, I'm not really, no. Because, I've been in situations where I didn't do that, and I didn't really care. Actually, to this day, on Facebook, for years, I have no marital status. It just says nothing. We're in a relationship or whatever, because I don't want it showing up in my newsfeed when I change it to single to in a relationship. Like, I don't need that to be a big story. So, it says nothing. But, let me see if I can come up with an example. Like, if we're in a relationship and I, see that, you're going out a lot and, posting a lot of pictures with you and your boys and you and other girls and no pictures of me, that's a problem.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem. Yeah.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, or
but then somebody thinks about it on Facebook, like how pissed off you are about your boyfriend?
No, that's definitely not. Maybe when I was a teenager, I'm not going to lie. Of course, I've been prone to the sub-status, but, I'm older now, so...
Some of them really go off, like really putting their personal life out there. It's like if you really have something to say, reach out to someone in your inner circle and talk to them. You know what I mean? Don't put it all out there on Facebook. The majority doesn't really care. They want something to talk about for the most part,
Right. And then they're
back
going
to
to
what
call...
you were saying about... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say all they're gonna do is go call a friend and talk about you because I'm sorry, I have to admit it, I'm guilty of that. I would be like, yo, did you see what such and such said on Twitter? Yo, what are they talking about? Yo, what's this problem? And it's like, I mean, the person is not so close to me, so I'm not gonna be like, hey, what's wrong? That's gonna sound mad weird, me coming out of nowhere, and we don't talk like that. But I mean, I definitely saw it, and I'm definitely curious. But you put it out there, so you can't really get mad at me for talking about it. So
Exactly.
go ahead, Shamara, you're gonna say something.
I was gonna say, like, I heard you guys earlier. You were talking about in the context of work. Like, I remember there was someone that I worked with. Like, she would come every day and just, I mean, volunteer. Like, I guess she was just so mad about what was going on in her personal life. So like, she was just constantly ranting about it. But I'm just like, you know, like, this isn't really the place for that. Like, you need to, like, talk to, like, you know, your, like you said, like, your inner circle of friends and really, you know, see what you want to do about the situation or how you want to deal with it. But you just come ranting. She can't stand her kids, can't this. And it's like, people would just be like, oh, okay, and then go and talk about her behind her back and make fun of it. It's just like, this is not the place for you to keep venting, you know, your rage about life.
I've definitely seen situations like that where people will confide in people, you know, in the workplace, and then the same person would turn around and tell everybody else, and I'm like, all right. And I actually feel uncomfortable with somebody that I'm not that close to starts telling me all kinds of personal shit, because I'm just like, I don't know you like that, so I don't really know how to react or what to say or what type of reaction you're looking
really
for
awkward.
from me. Yeah, like, I mean, if somebody I'm close to calls me, then I know, okay, this person is asking for the advice, or maybe, or, you know, I can tell your mood, so I know what you just want an ear, you just want me to listen, or you want my opinion on something. When I don't really know you like that, I don't really know what I'm supposed to say, because I can't be like, oh, well, he's cheating on you, you're just stupid. I don't know. Like, I don't know how you're going to react to that. So I kind of feel weird, yeah, if I don't know somebody like that when they tell me their personal business. That's kind of like, I just got to smile and nod in that case.
Yeah, that's definitely awkward for sure. But I'm definitely took an awkward position. It wasn't at work or on Facebook, but it was like at a bar. I randomly started talking to like an older woman at a bar, telling her about my personal situation and my relationship, you know? And yeah, and she actually gave me advice. Like a stranger gave me advice. That felt so awesome. And I think like if someone was to put themselves out there, like on Facebook, like if they really felt the need, because I just read a post actually about this guy saying how depressed he was, and I don't know him like that. But in a way, I kind of wanted to reach out to him, but I didn't want to be weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, sometimes it can be, you know, if they're really coming out and saying something, it's like maybe it can be a cry out for help. You know what I mean? And it's like, when do you really reach out and say, okay, let's try and be friends. I know we just know each other on Facebook, you know, but what's going on with you? You know what I mean? I don't know how to, like, if that's appropriate or not.
This is kind of turning into a whole different topic now, but I think that's kind of like the problem with, but this is I think that's kind of the problem with, actually, I was going to make this a whole different topic, but whatever, I'm going to get into this now, because a next topic I was planning on doing in the future was, does technology really bring us together or does it tear us apart? And that's my argument, basically, is that in some ways technology makes it easier for you to connect with people, but at the same time, I feel like we're losing the art of interacting with people on a personal level because we're so used to dealing with people on an impersonal level. So it's like, before, when you didn't have the computer, if you saw somebody walking down the street and let's say they were sitting down crying, it wasn't abnormal to sit down and ask them what was wrong because people were used to interacting with each other face to face. But now we're so used to being behind cell phones and being behind computers. When something's wrong, I mean, we feel weird when you actually reach out to somebody on a personal level because we're just so used to not dealing with people on a personal level. It's like we're all guarded now, and I kind of feel like that's the downside of technology. So, like, if this was a different time, it would have been fine for you to reach out to that person. But now it's like, I still say you should have reached out to them anyway. Cause, I mean, if they think you're weird, then that's their loss. But I don't think it's anything wrong really with, you know, reaching out to people if you really feel like they need it. Because I kind of feel like we do need it. And, like, we're becoming more social, and I'm doing the air quotes. But at the same time, we're becoming more isolated at the same time. Yeah.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
Okay. But definitely venting at work is inappropriate for sure. Like ain't nobody got time for that. We're trying to work. We're trying to get on.
Nobody really cares. Like,
we're supposed to be working though. Like, where do we have time to? I mean, things happen at work. I'm not gonna lie, but
things happen. You know.
Go ahead.
I just have to damper just coming in dampening my whole mood. Talking about, that sounds insensitive, but, save it for the lunch break. If we're working, let's just work. And lunch break, if you really have to talk about whatever's going on, you talk about it,
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people do make, genuine friends at work, and then, you have your break time, you want to talk about things, but, like, the people who come in raging, I'm just like, oh, I didn't want to deal with this. Like you said, the awkwardness, like, what am I supposed to say?
Right.
But in their defense, I understand that, life happens sometimes, or sometimes you'll get some bad news when you're at work or just before you come into work, so sometimes you're trying to hold it together and you fall apart. Because I've been in that situation, but then so, I mean, I hate when that happens, actually. I just try to excuse myself and go in the bathroom, but then I can't hide it. And people are like, what's wrong? And I'm like, oh, great. So, I have to say something. But, those things are going to happen. And, again, even in that situation when it's not me, I still kind of feel weird. But then in that case, I don't feel so weird for reaching out and being like, it's going to be all right. Because if somebody's clearly going through something, going through it, like, that's not the time to kick them when not that it would be kicking them while they're down to not say anything, but, I mean, they're really going to need some encouragement at that point. I don't think anybody would say, you're a weirdo or...
Right. Hello?
Hello? Yes, we can. Oh, you're back.
Okay.
My bad. My phone was acting up. My call dropped. Anyways, what were we in? Huh?
I said, what service do you have?
T-Mobile.
That's why.
I mean, yeah, we gonna talk about that later. But anyway, so were y'all?
I actually have to sign out, guys. So I'll catch you guys.
You actually have to go to the same work you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Right. All right, later.
Later.
Did y'all say anything else when I dropped out?
No, we were like, Mizz Moodie? Yeah?
Come on back. I mean, I would have texted y'all, but I was like, oh my God, I gotta call in real quick. When did I leave off? Was I in the middle of?
I think we were talking about work. Things just falling apart at work, and you having an event, and that's a different situation. But what she made it sound like was like this woman just kept coming in, just venting and every day, I don't know.
And I get that too, because I kind of feel like sometimes I get the feeling that some people just like to talk about themselves, whether it be good or bad. They just like the sound of their own voice.
Right.
And talking about themselves and the attention of talking about themselves. So, whether it's good or bad, they're just going to talk about themselves. And that kind of actually also gets on my nerves when you're calling to talk to somebody and then they change the subject and make it about them. And I'm like, I'm venting to you about something. Can you
love that?
Yes. And I'm like, no, I didn't call to talk about. Granted, I mean, if you're going through something, we can do that. But today I didn't call to talk about you.
Right.
I'm going through some shit right now. Like, you don't need to do that. Like, oh, that gets on my nerves. So, yeah, and in the workplace or even outside of work, yeah, that's a huge pet peeve of mine. Like, I wouldn't do that to you. Don't do that to me. Like, it's not always about you. But,
so
go ahead.
within, like, this circle, your inner circle, the people that you trust the most, do you have, like, certain things that you'll tell certain people, certain topics that you'll speak about with only this person? How does that work for you?
I usually end up eventually telling everybody at some point. It's just that I'll have certain people that I'll tell first. And then eventually, if somebody else, like, say, in my closest circle asks, so what's been going on with you? I won't lie. I'll say such and such is going on. But then, I don't know. There's certain people that I'm just more comfortable talking with, and those are, like, my first couple of people that I'll come to when something is going on. But not to say anything bad about the other people, because if they ask me, sure, I'll say. But it's like, eventually everybody's going to know. It's just that I have my certain people I go to first when something's going on.
Yeah, that's natural. The same with family?
Yeah, most likely I'll go to my sister first, or my mom. Especially if it's about work. My mom is the first person to know. But, yeah. Yeah, so what about you?
As far as, I guess I'm pretty much an open book when it comes to my family. But, but for the most part, I am pretty guarded, I would say. I'm more of the type to I guess, handle it on my own, which is not a good thing. It's not always a good thing, you know.
I definitely see that, because, like, another thing is, like, when you're going through something, especially in relationships, there's a level of embarrassment. Like, you don't kind of want people to know when you're heartbroken, because that's me, too. When I'm going through it, even sometimes I don't even go through those first couple of people first. I'll deal with it by myself, and then when I feel like I can't take it anymore and I have to talk about it, then I'll start talking about it. But, like, most of the time, I try to keep on that strong face and act like nothing is wrong. And that's probably why I end up falling apart at work. But because from holding it in for so long. But it's like, yeah, sometimes you don't want people knowing all your business. Like, or you just want to make it look like you have it all together so you won't talk about it, which I'm definitely prone to that. But yeah, that's not good, because then I fall apart either.
Yeah, it's not good at all. Definitely need to let it out and vent sometimes. Especially because, you know, having that fresh perspective, it helps you look at, you know, your situation in a different light, and we need that.
Yeah, definitely, because, I mean, especially if your vision is clouded, it's like especially something just happened, you're not thinking straight anyway.
Yeah.
So
are there anything that you actually keep to yourself? Would you say there's things that
I've never told a soul?
Yeah. Because you asked how much you share with other people. So now I'm wondering, is there a limit to what you actually share?
That was part of the topic. I said, how much do you just keep completely private? How much do you keep for yourself? I mean, there's nothing that I've never... I mean, my personal life, there's nothing I've never told a soul, but people have told me secrets that I've never... Which, that's how it's supposed to be. I've never told anyone, but then obviously the other person knows. But that's still me and the other person. So, as far as me, there's always at least one person that knows something. I don't think there's anything that nobody ever has ever known about me. Nah.
Okay. Not
you?
Same. No, same here. I mean, I don't think that I've lived that much of an interesting life to have secrets that I can't tell a soul.
I know. That's kind of crazy. What kind of secret would that be that you can't tell somebody? Maybe that you kill somebody or something? Like. Oh, man. Even if I did kill somebody, I'd still tell somebody. I'm like, yo, don't tell nobody, son. I killed that person, or something. Like, nah, I don't think there's anything that bad that you can't tell anybody.
Yeah, no, you definitely have to have input of some sort.
Well, anyways, I got a little under 5 minutes left, so do you have any more thoughts before I wrap it up, or?
Yeah, man. Don't be venting on Facebook. Nobody gives a F. If anything, I think we should use it as a branding vehicle, especially for the entrepreneurs out here. You know, use it as a way of branding yourself, and treat it as such. Know that everything that you put out there is shaping your brand. And if you're not trying to start anything, start something and start treating a social network as a branded vehicle. That's my
actually, I got a vent about that. I think people pay more attention to the drama than the people that are actually trying to promote something.
It's true, because people like drama. People do like drama. But I think like attracts like. Like the posts that I pay attention to the most are from people who are actually doing their thing. The people who are just talking nonsense, I don't pay attention to it at all. You know what I mean? I brush over that quickly. So I don't know. It all depends.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Like-minded people try to do it, because I kind of find that with me, when I'm trying to promote something, it's usually people that are also doing something that pay me the most attention. And the people that ain't doing nothing are the ones that are worried about, oh, you saw somebody's status about that, and oh my God, I'm like, I don't really care what so-and-so said, but you know what?
Do you have a final thought on
that was my final thought about people liking drama more than people promoting something interesting.
That's human nature, though, right?
They say that, but I'm like, there gotta be something better than that. Like, I mean, I'm not acting like I'm just more of a person that I don't pay attention to drama. Like I said, I've paid attention to it too. I'm not saying I follow it like ridiculous. But
we
I want to
do ratchet in our lives.
Yeah, but I still want to feel like, you know,
I said we all need a daily dose of ratchet, you know. But it's the people, the people that are just going in using Facebook just to, I guess, look to see how everybody else is living their lives. Those people need to, I don't know, get a life or something. So
yeah, I definitely can't sign off on living vicariously through other people through Facebook, because I do know some people that do that just go and don't never post nothing of their own, but always want to report about what other people posted about such and such. And I mean, okay, now that we're older, I don't see that so much, but definitely maybe after just graduating high school, first couple of years of college when Facebook was new, and MySpace, sorry, that was definitely a big thing.
MySpace.
Yeah, remember that? All right, so on that note, thank you again, Lux, for calling in at the last minute. One more shout out to Johnny Go Figure. We're going to reschedule this show if you're listening. Feel better. Shout out to everybody that called in. Shout out to everybody listening. I will see y'all next week. Peace out.